Matrix media, they say, why did you get so big? Because I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth, which every man knows is intrinsically true in his heart, because God has instilled him with a basic degree of morality of right and wrong. I'm saying things to a 17-year-old boy and he's going, he makes sense. I get it. Everything I was told so far just didn't quite click, but this does. And that's what they're so scared of. I was talking about this the other day. I was talking about how I have a pet peeve, and one of my pet peeves is painkillers. And I was being typical me, and I was going over the top. And I was discussing with this guy. This guy said, have you got any aspirin? I said, there's no aspirin in my house. And he said, why? I said, brother, you are not facing 1% of the life difficulties I am facing. Think about it. No government's trying to lock you up. The Matrix isn't after you. They're not trying to frame you. Nobody wants you dead. When God finally gives you a tiny headache, to give you something to show you're half a man, a little bit of resilience, you pussy out and take an aspirin. Can you just have a headache? Just have a headache. And not only just have a headache and don't mention it, because I don't care. So don't even talk about it. Nobody needs to know. What do you want? Do you want therapy? You want sympathy? Nobody cares you have a headache. Shut up. Like nearly any problem on earth, whether it's men's mental health, whether it's women's mental health, no matter what it is, whether it's crime, no matter what it is, how do you fix the problem? By building men of caliber, by building men of capability and status and honor and dignity, and by building men of ability to be good standing citizens who are respected by their peers. All of it comes back to improving men. All of it. Every single problem you can possibly name, it comes back to building strong men of capability who are respected. That's all. It's the baseline of humanity. Men always has been the baseline of humanity. And that's why nearly every problem we can name, all of them are in a direct negative correlation with masculinity. As masculinity plummets, all this garbage is going up through the roof. Is that a coincidence? Absolutely and utterly not. You can literally see it with a graph, and you can see it happening. Saving the way men think and operate, growing a new generation of men who understand they have duty to themselves, their last name, and God, literally saves the world. All of it.
Women respect men who stick by their principles and their beliefs, and the principles and beliefs of a man are always to do what he is supposed to do regardless of how he feels. You must train when you don't feel like training. You must protect when you don't feel like protecting. You must be a good man. And when you're actually a truly good man and a high value man, this is something I absolutely realized in jail. I have no problem suffering if the people I love are not suffering. My children are taken care of. The women I love are taken care of. My mother is taken care of. Everybody around me is fine. Even if they've removed me from my life and locked me in a jail cell, everybody I love is taken care of and is protected and is living good. I must suffer because I am a man. I am the head of my empire. I'm the head of the clan. Of course, I will suffer, but the people I love are not suffering. This is what God has bestowed upon important men since the beginning of time.
Not just important men, all men. The men in the Titanic as the boat was going down, about to be sucked into the icy cold water, some of the last thoughts in those men's head, I know, was at least I saw my daughter and my wife get on that boat.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to plunge into this ice cold water because there they are on that boat, away from danger. Everyone we love and everyone in the world who we care about was taken care of. And I said, Andrew, would you rather us both be at liberty, but someone else in our life suffer? Mom suffer? Our kids suffer? The
Never.
mothers of our children
Never.
suffer? No. I'm glad it was me. I'm glad I was the one who was suffering and everyone else was okay, because that's what being a man means.
When you're a man, absolutely, you're right. It is our job to suffer so the people around us do not suffer. And that's why if you're a man and you're waking up every day and you're not trying your very best to be important or upgrade yourself or upgrade your character, or you're lacking motivation, then you have a serious problem, because it is your job to be capable of dealing with the insurmountable pressure which God is going to put upon you so that when you suffer, everyone around you does well. Our lives are set up that even if they throw us in a dungeon today, everybody we love will be okay forever. And that is what's most important. That's the most important thing.
That's success.
And that was absolutely comforting in jail when we discussed that. And we said, everyone we love is okay. You and I just have to make it through this. And that's absolutely and utterly comforting. And if you're a man sitting at home right now, you need to sit and say, okay, if they plucked me from my life, if they picked me up and threw me in a room and locked me in a jail cell,
Which can happen.
which can happen to anybody, especially as they continue these matrix attacks on masculinity as a whole, would your wife have a roof over her head? Would your children eat? Would your family be okay? Think about these things. This is what you're working for. You're not working to make money so you can buy a Lamborghini. You're working to make money, and you're thinking outside of the box, and you're becoming your best version of yourself, so all the people around you will always be okay no matter what happens. It is your job as a man to suffer. And we did our job fantastically, absolutely and utterly as we should.
We always will.
And we always will. And everybody around us was okay. And that is extremely comforting in times of hardship because we're built for suffering. We were absolutely and utterly built for suffering. No matter how close I came to crying inside of that jail cell, I knew all the people around me were safe and all the people around me could eat. And that's all I cared about. I used my phone calls. When I would call other people and they were asking me how I was, I'd say, we don't want to talk about me. How are you? Are you okay? Are you okay with the media pressure? Are you okay? Are your bills paid? Do you have money? Can you eat? I'm in a jail cell in Romania making sure that everyone I love is okay. I don't need them to sit and worry about me. I worry about them. I sat in a jail cell making sure I could fix the problems for the people I love outside in the free world from a dungeon. That is what a man does, and you must prepare and set up your life for that. You must be prepared to be plucked from life. And understand that everybody around you who once relied on you will still be relying on you even when you sit in that jail cell. It's still up to you. You are still the man of the household. You are still the top G of your life. Only you. And if you don't pay the bills, who's going to do it? Your wife's just going to what? Go get a job, get like 5 jobs and raise your kids? How's she going to do that? You must be prepared for these things. That is what you're working for. So if you wake up every day as a man, and you say, I don't have motivation to become strong. I don't want to work hard and get rich. I don't want to try and become financially free. What you're saying is that the second you disappear from your matrix-controlled job, everyone who loves you and respected you and relied on you is going to starve? How can you live that way as a man? Absolutely and utterly unacceptable.
There's a story my father told me. He said, every morning there arises a gazelle that realizes that he must run faster than the fastest lion or he will die that day. On that same desert arises in the morning a lion that realizes that he must run faster or he will starve. No matter who you is, when you wake up in the morning, you needs to be running.
What it takes to make it. What it takes to be hungry to win. And number one is called mental strength, mental resolve. I'm not going to be among those who just watch and say, isn't this awful? Your people are feeling hopeless, powerless, that they have no control over what's going on with them. But you do. When you're hungry to win, you spend your time and your energy being a warrior, not a worrier. What am I going to do to make things happen? And when you have something that you want to do, when life has knocked you down and slapped you around, in order for you to get back up, you got to be hungry to win.
Because there are some things in your life that will make you run, that slap you out of your stupor and say, this ain't no time to cry. So you got to get used to being a little disappointed. You got to get used to walking into situations and being flexible, because if you are not flexible, you cannot survive. And all of a sudden, life demands that you pick up the pace. If you don't pick up the pace, you're going to be left behind.
And so when you're hungry to win, you realize this. Number one, you go all out. Now, let me give you some statistics. Out of every 100 Americans, listen to this, starting out at the age 25, by the time they reach 65, 1 will be rich, 4 will be independently wealthy, and the rest will be dead broke. I decided I wanted to be in that 1%.
The danger of low expectations. I would rather aim for the stars and not hit them than to not aim at all. I'd rather try and fail than not try at all. I'm gonna go for it, come hell or high water. I'm going after my destiny. You gotta run after your destiny. You can't walk after your destiny. You gotta run.
You don't want to waste any time. You want to be focused. You don't want to join the masses. The masses are home finding out what's next on Netflix. The masses have all these channels that they can look at. Who has the time to do that? I don't understand that. If you're hungry to win, listen to me. Only 1% of global population ever earn $1 million in their lifetime. I'm in that 1%. You only want to listen to people that have done what you want to do, have more experience, knowledge. That's one of the things that's very important today. And having relationships, collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. People that's going in the direction of where you want to go. I will only take calls from people that are positive, that are purposeful, and productive, and profitable, that we can make some money together. If it doesn't fit in those categories, you out of my phone. There's no time to be around people who are negative, who don't have a sense of direction. If you don't know where you're going, you're going to end up someplace else. That's going to rub off on you. Listen, when you're hungry to win, there's a certain energy, there's a certain commitment of how you use your time, a certain level of discipline. You want to get out of line. You want to jump out of line today if you want to make it. Find something that you love and master that and monetize it. We are created by the Creator to create. This computer makes it a level playing field. You want to live a life that will outlive you. I don't have time to be looking at no Netflix. Just because I'm 75, I'm not going to be sitting in a corner somewhere. When you're hungry to win, you make decisions that your future self will say, I'm glad you made that decision. I am so glad that I decided to find something that I would love to do. Do something, decide now, do something that your future self will say, I'm glad you made that decision. Thank you. It's more difficult than ever. Millions of people have lost their jobs. You got to be hungry to win. People that are hungry to win are rethinking their lives, and we shouldn't be playing either. This computer gives you access to information. Turn the television off and learn a new skill so God can do a new thing with your life. Pray as if everything depends upon God, but work as if everything depends upon you. Work on your mind because you're going to take some hits. Nothing works if you don't work. There are two types of people in this world, those who work and those who watch them. When I was working on a job, I was the first one there and the last one to leave. This is a brand new day. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your children. You got to take better care of yourself. You got to intensify the effort. Don't just surrender. Well, you want to keep it moving. My mother, she left here at 89. Mama was always moving. You got to keep it moving. I want the Lord to use me up. This is a time to rethink your life. It's time to take care of business. Success is a slow process. Greatness is a slow process. Quitting won't make it any faster. Oh no, I tried. Try and sit down. You either do or you don't. Listen, you came here with something because we've never broken the cycle of being told we're nothing. The devil is a liar. No, we have to step up and ask the question, why is that? Find something you love and master that. It's easier now. There are virtually millionaires all around the globe, and they started right at their computer. Got a computer. Or you can start your own business. Even if you have a criminal background, you can start your own business. You have something special. Don't waste your greatness.